Hi, guys. I hope you all had a fantastic Christmas. I have a few things that I need to get done because I thought I had way more time than I did. So, yay. Oh, no. Okay, hopefully it's not bad. It just reconnected. Sometimes that scares me when it does that. I wish I could do a link from the subject for tonight's live and the actual live itself. Because sometimes I can find it, sometimes I can't. I'm going to play it safe. And we do have an interesting live tonight, at least I think it's going to be interesting. Y'all may not think it's interesting, but I promise you it's going to be. Tonight's live is all about the history of Christmas carols. I have done something like this in the past. And it turned out pretty good. So we're going to try it again and see how it goes. I'm waiting on somebody to come in. Hi. Waiting on somebody to come in. I don't know if it's a cool stream. I haven't even done anything yet. But like I said, I'm waiting on my moderator to show up. When she's start live, because just easier for me to do it that way in case people ask questions that I'm not ready to answer yet. She sort of fields my questions for me. I'm going to get this set up. Hopefully she's not too far behind me. So we are going to be looking at, I think, 10 or 11, 12 different Christmas songs, Christmas carols. That's okay. So we are going to start right now with our live. And we are going to start off sort of going through alphabetical order. You may or may not care about this, but it was an idea that was given to me. It's not what I usually do in my lives, but for today, since it's the Friday after Christmas, I don't feel so weird doing it. But let's get into it. So, Angels We Have Heard on High. So, this is, to start off with, this is a traditional French carol. And I say traditional, but it probably originated as early as the 18th century and was published in North America and Canada in 1819. It was translated in 1862 by James Chadwick and an Anglo-Irish who was an Anglo-Irish Catholic and was also the Bishop of Hexham and Newcastle, and it was inspired by chapter 2 verses 6 through 20, and it was in the Methodist hymnal in 1935, and this song is an invitation to others who are Christians or who are not Christians to celebrate Christ's birth with them. I read that wrong, so let me reread that. This is a song that is an invite to others from Christians to celebrate Christ's birth with them. So that is Angels We Have Heard on High. I'm going to try slowing down. Angels from the Realms of Glory. Now, this has become one of my favorite choir pieces, but I've never heard it whole. It's always been really weird and never the whole thing. And just once, I would like to hear it. Not sung by a huge choir where it ends up the words blend together, but in a very straight and forward way. So, James Montgomery wrote this song first as a poem, and it was then first published on Christmas Eve in 1816. It was not sung in churches till after 1825 when it was reprinted. Before 1828, it didn't even have a tune. And it was later in the UK that it was sung to the tune of to Iris, a French carol. And the song would later have the tune of Angels We Have Heard on High, and at some point its original refrain would be replaced with Gloria in Excelsis Deo, which is why, if you listen to some of the pieces on YouTube, it has that Gloria in Excelsis Deo refrain. I wondered about that, actually. Away in a Manger. Now, the song is said to be written in 1883. It appeared in a hymnal in 1885 called Little Children's Book for Schools and Families. Originally, it had 2 stanzas, and a 3rd stanza was added by Charles H. Gabriel, a composer from Iowa, who also wrote the hymn His Eye is on the Sparrows. I've only just recently heard that piece, and it's very pretty. And then William Kirkpatrick, a composer in Philadelphia, changed the end of the last verse to what we have today. And stay by my, and in case you're wondering, that is, and stay by my cradle till morning is light. Till morning is night. I need to go to bed and redo this, but I'm not going to because it's too late. Deck the Halls. Now this dates back to the 16th century. So far this is the oldest hymn, or the oldest carol that we have. And it was part of an Irish folk song. And I am going to mess this up. I promise you that. So I'm going to do this. Give me a second. If you know French, you might be able to understand that word, which means New Year's Eve. It was published in the 1700s with lyrics written by John Parry. The modern version of Deck the Halls was published in a songbook in 1866. Wait a minute. That's the wrong... Gosh darn it. Ignore that. I'm on the wrong channel on my Chromebook. Gotta fix that if I can. Okay, this is a test. No, it did not switch it. I probably hit the wrong thing. Oh, that's better. Okay. Sorry, y'all. The next one is God. No, it's not. I'm sorry. It's the First Noel. This song originated in Cornwall, which is in southwest England, and it came about in the 13th and 14th century. And it is believed that the song came from one of the miracle plays, which was a tradition way back when, and it was first transcribed into a book called Some Ancient Christmas Carols in 1823. So we started off in the 1800s, and we're sort of going in between periods. The next song is God Rest You Merry Gentlemen, and this one dates back to the 1500s, and it has undergone many changes over its time. In the 15th century, it was performed in Latin, and it was first printed in 1760, but the melody itself was first printed in 1829. The words and the lyrics were first published in 1833. It was also mentioned in A Christmas Carol. Good King Wenceslas. The words for this song were written in 1853 by John Mason Neal, but the melody is much older than that and dates back to the 13th century. and it was written for the Feast of Stephen or Boxing Day. Well, it would make sense since it talks about the Feast of Stephen in the song. Hark the Herald Angels Sing, one of my favorite carols. This carol was written by John Wesley. He was an English Methodist leader and hymn writer. It's believed that he wrote over 6,000 hymns. Now, he wrote a poem called Hark, and this poem appeared in the 1739 Hymns and Sacred Poems. And then in 1753, George Whitefield adapted the poem into the song that we know and love today. Oh, looky here. We have a song named after two of the plants that we talked about in a live that we did not too long ago called The Holly. Well, the song is called The Holly and the Ivy. So that's pretty darn cool. But I think I should give you guys a link. What do you think? To that live. So that at your leisure, if you're watching this at a later date, you can go back and watch that live. Not now, but later. So, Holly and the Ivy. Well, the symbolism... Why can't I talk tonight, Carol? Why can I not talk today, predecessor? I don't get it. While the symbolism for this song date back a whole long time, what am I actually saying right now? Well, this melody is old, but not quite sure exactly how old. And the lyrics, if you know them, date back to the 1700s. The refrain for this song can be found in Chaucer's Canterbury Tales. And I did not look up to see when that was published. I actually read that in college. At least I think it was college. Anybody else read that ever? Let's see. It was written sometime in 1387 to 1400. So, yeah. Now, I saw three ships. Very interesting. This Christmas classic dates back past the 18th century to the 17th century. And it was printed by William Sandys in 1833. Now, it's thought that the three ships that are talked about in this song are three ships that were carrying artifacts from Israel, I'm assuming via the Mediterranean Sea, back to either France or England. It Came Upon a Midnight Clear. The song was written by Edmund H. Sears, and it was published in 1849, and he was very, very concerned about the state of the world as he saw it. We were either, I can't remember, my dates are right now mixed up in my head. The Civil War had taken place. There was some brutal stuff going on in Europe at the time. And so, no, I did not see that connection. I never, I mean, that could, sometimes there are multiple so supposedly it says the 3 ships may be those which were used to transport the relics of the biblical magi, that is the 3 wise men, to the Cologne Cathedral in the 12th century, or perhaps it is a reference to the camels which the 3 wise men rode. So I don't know on the other end of it. Anyway, the author was, or the guy that wrote the words was very concerned because he really thought that the world was falling apart, and that's what the song is about. Joy to the World was written by an English poet and a clergyman by the name of Isaac Watts, and it was a paraphrase of Psalm 98, and it was taken from Psalm 98 verses 4 through 9. Oh, Christmas Tree. Now, I gotta tell you, I seriously got mixed signals on this one. Some sites say it was written in the 1500s, while others say it was written by a German composer named Ernest. Oh yeah, I just love names that I can't pronounce. And so he is said to have written the song in 1824. Let's see. TANNENBAUM. means fir tree or pine tree. Yep. And it's actually a surname. Did not know that. "O Come, O Ye Faithful." Again, one of my favorite songs. The words and the music may date back to the 1700s, and it was written by a guy named John Francis Wade. Now, Wade was living in France, and he was living in a community that was an English community living in France. The Jacobite uprising started, and they sent these people out of France, exiled them to England. Frederick Oakley, an Anglican priest, worked on the song, and more change would come to it in the 1870s, and eventually we will have the modern song that we have today. "O Come, Emmanuel." This song may be the oldest hymn in this collection, or in this, whatever this is, this live. It was written in Latin sometime in the 8th or 9th century. We assume at a monastery. Now, John Mason Neale took this manuscript that he had and translated it into English for us. So we have him to thank for that song. So this is a long one, and this is "O Holy Night." A man whose name I won't be able to pronounce, which is why I'm going to take the whole name. No. I need you, for once, I need my Chromebook to behave itself. Now, this guy was noted not for writing music, but for writing poetry. That is his name right there for y'all to see. He really didn't attend church, from what I understand. Could not find anything that says that he was a atheist. But he really didn't attend church. So he wrote the words and then sought after somebody to write the music. And the guy who wrote the music for the story, for the song, this poetry, happened to be Jewish. And that resulted in some major hiccups for him. Now, he could have said, you know what? I can't do this. I can't write the music for the song. Instead, he did it. And they ended up with the music being written. Now, the song was quite popular in France. But when the Catholic Church found out that Mr. Adam was Jewish, they flat out banned the song in their churches. But, as always happens, the people liked the song so much that they couldn't stop singing it. So eventually, John Sullivan Dwight, an American writer, came across the lyrics and the music. Now, he was a northerner. He was against slavery, and he fell in love with the lines of the third verse. And he would eventually publish a translation of O Holy Night. Now, this song became popular in America, especially in the North, where the people were fighting for slavery to end, among other things. I'm not going to go into the whole Franco-Prussian war story, but look it up. It's pretty cool. Yeah. Moving on. I told you that would be a long one. O Little Town in Bethlehem. I'm about to get hit with a rod. I think I'm going to get hit. But this is not one of my favorite songs. So the author is Cecil Frances Alexander. And it was written in 1818. Now, she had been writing poetry since she was a child. In October of 1850, she married William Alexander, who was an Anglican clergyman. Eventually, the song would get published in 1848. So, pretty cool. Silent Night. If you haven't heard the story behind Silent Night, there's a big thing that happens with it. Very cool. But we're gonna keep going. In 1816, a priest from Austria named Joseph Mohr wrote the words for the song, but it was just words. So eventually, he would get somebody who would write the lyrics. A Franz Xavier Gruber wrote the melody. Now, keep in mind that the Napoleonic War had recently come to an end, so lives had been lost, people were upset, but it was first performed on Christmas Eve in 1818. We Three Kings. The author and composer of We Three Kings was John Henry Hopkins, and it was written around 1857. It's based on the narrative of the Magi from Matthew chapter 2, verses 1 through 12. And it was first published in 1863. There are lots of arrangements of the song out there for you to enjoy. Believe it or not, we are on our last one. And it is We Wish You a Merry Christmas. The author and composer, unknown on this one. It's believed that its origins are somewhere in the 16th century. For a while, caroling was banned. In fact, it wasn't caroling. No, I gotta go back. It wasn't caroling that was banned. It was you were not going to go to church and sing Christmas songs. It didn't happen. From about 1470. Oh, no, that was not banned. You could go wassailing. That was not what was banned. I love when I type. Let's see, that was 1660. Sorry, guys. I want to make sure that I'm getting... Okay, it was June 1647. And what this would do is basically keep people from singing Christmas songs or carols in the churches. What happened is people wanted to remember these songs. They didn't want these songs to disappear. So what they did was they actually went door to door singing these songs in groups. Wassailing came out of that tradition, or caroling. In 1935, Arthur Worrell, anyway, arranged for a new tune for the song, and that's what we have today. I hope you enjoyed tonight's video, tonight's live, I should say. That is the end of my material for tonight. However, as always, if you have questions, comments, or concerns, you can throw those at me now. In the meantime, you're about to get bombarded because I am going to give you some stuff. Oh, come on. Hold on. I will answer that in a second. Let me give you the next week and 1 day schedule for lives. Tomorrow at 6 p.m. Exploring Nature, Northern Cardinal. Wait. Yeah. Tuesday at 7 p.m. Dragons, a myth based on facts. Exploring Nature, River Otters on January 3rd, and June 4th is going to be a Learn to Care brown bears, and we'll be looking at all of these subspecies on that day. And now for your questions. King Wenceslas. Oh, I hate when I misspell things. King Wenceslas, blah, 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 blah. Originated, he was a Czech ruler, meaning he came from the area that was Slavic. Tells the story of a 10th century king of Bohemia, modern day Czech Republic. Feast of Stephen. Boxing Day occurs on the same day as the Christian feast of Saint Stephen. Saint Stephen, by the way, is the patron saint of bricklayers and stonemasons. And he was also known for his care of the poor, which is probably where we get the whole connection to Christmas. So hopefully that answers your question. I need to slow down a little bit. I was afraid I would end up with not enough material for today, but we came through that with quite a bit of time. I mean, it took me a while to get through it all. I guess that's a good thing. I do have one small announcement. I do have one small announcement that I want to make. And again, it's a small one. The exploring nature that we do on our lives here on this channel have basically always been traditionally North American animals and plants. Now that we have people from the Netherlands and the UK participating in live a little bit more frequently than we have in the past, I will be slipping in periodically animals and plants that live in or around those countries. And I say in and around because some of those are like marine animals that live or visit the waters around those countries. So just, FYI, I don't know when those will pop up on a live on this channel, but they might. So be looking for them. We are going to be wrapping up this week of subscriber videos or subscriber suggested videos. We will do another week of those sometime in January. I'm not exactly sure the lineup just yet, or when I'll be doing that just yet, but it will happen. I can assure you of that. And what I'm doing differently with that particular set of lives that will come out of that, or videos that will come out of that, rather, the person who submitted that topic will be named at the beginning, will be named as a part of the video title. So, or at least it'll pop up in the description. Not sure which. How have I done a live since Christmas? Yeah, Thursday, right? How was everybody's Christmas? I know I've talked to Carol. I think I've talked to you about it. My Christmas anymore is, I don't know. I sit here and I tell people that, I don't miss having kids, and I really don't. But Christmas time comes around, and I think that's when I miss it. I miss not having traditions. I think is what I miss. Yeah, that stings a little bit. I was surrounded by family. We did at my brother's house on Christmas Eve, and then we went to my nephew's, my sister's youngest, not the youngest, but fourth to the youngest, whatever he is, I don't know. But we went to one of my sister's kids for lunch on Christmas Day, came home, and the rest of the day was mine. In case you're wondering what happened to today's video, I did not get it posted. Feel like there is something on my nose, and there's not. It's gone. Yeah, I don't have that. There is a definite difference between the two houses. My brother's is a little bit louder, and my nephew's house is a little bit more peaceful. But that's because there's less kids. I have also learned that not being around kids, active kids, has not done me any favors. I am very much impatient when it comes to certain things. By the way, I did the image for the thumbnail on AI, and I went to print it, and the printer gave me something. It said something, and I have no idea what it was. So and it had lines through it. I don't know if you guys could tell on the thumbnail or not, but it kind of upset me. I didn't want to reprint it because I was afraid it wouldn't work. So yeah. I really thought we'd have more people. Last night's live did not do as well as I thought it would. Now I just have to figure out what we're doing for the next holidays. That is Thanksgiving, or not Thanksgiving, Christmas. I'm thinking for next Christmas, we'll do a subscriber only activity. Wow, it's quiet. Yeah. I think as we get older and our kids get families, it gets harder. Especially if you're in a family where there's a lot of kids. Like my brother has 4 kids, and all 4 kids and their kids were actually at the house, which was nice. I have a tradition where I watch Scrooge every year. And I thought this year that I wasn't going to be able to watch it. And I found it. I found it on Pluto, which was a blessing. That's what I did today. After I got caught up, I watched Scrooge. Yeah, I have it. I think I've watched it once. Anybody else have any Christmas traditions? No. I usually watch those too, but I don't have a TV guide and no way of knowing when they're going to be on. And those, unfortunately, are not on TV or Tubi or Pluto. I have, hopefully, another goodie. I don't know. I don't know if I do or don't. I have another critter maybe coming to the house Monday is when it's supposed to be here. And it is from Papow. And I will leave it up to you to figure out what it is. I will tell you it has 4 legs. Not that helps. But I'm excited. I don't know if I have a guide on there or not. I'll have to look and see. Do old TVs have guides? Mine is not a newer TV. I've had mine for a while, so there's that. Oh no. I don't have on my TV, I don't have any like my Hi Dinozilla Rex. I don't have cable or anything. I mean, I have the Roku, but it doesn't have live TV capabilities. So if there's something on, like the local channels, I don't have access to that. I have Roku, but I don't have live TV on it. Not that I know of. Yeah. But I don't pay for anything. Dinozilla Rex, how are you? Tomorrow we will be doing Northern Cardinal, which is a bird that lives in my area and other areas within the United States. I'm good. The house is quiet. It's been one of those days where it just has been really quiet. And I like that. I say that and then watch what happens. Have you had a good week? Have you learned about mountains? What type of mountains? Carol, you gotta be careful because not everybody practices. Awesome. I know a little bit about the Himalayas. They are formed when the India plate that makes up India pushed into the rest of Asia. I do. It is, they're a young, as far as age goes. If I remember right, I mean they're an old. Oh, I hate that. They're around 37 to 50 million years old, and they were formed when the Indian plate and the Eurasian plate struck. And when they struck, but I also think if you look at something like the, oh, I can't. We have the Appalachian Mountain Range here in North America, and they actually are older than the Himalayas, and they originated around 480 million years ago during the Permian period, and a mountain folding event called the Appalachian Revolution. So they're a baby mountain range as far as mountain ranges go, which is kind of crazy to think about. Hi, Marie. Yes, they are. And some of that is the age. Perhaps. Marie, I hope your holiday was a good one. Hope your family is not sick. Oh, that is incredible. That's a trip I will not be making. Cool. Oh, you're welcome. I love when I'm drawing something and I'm drawing the body and I get the body good and I like the way it looks, and then I go to do the hands. I am afraid of heights. Like, bad. And I'm learning that there are things that just are not worth putting my heart through. I can be in some movie theaters, some of these IMAX theaters that they have out now. Now, there's something about the angle of the seats that sets off my, I have like panic attacks in them. Bad. The last time I was in one, or the first time that I thought, okay, this is just going to be a normal movie theater. Everything's going to be fine, whatever. I get in there, I get set down, the lights get turned off, and they start doing the film. And you could see my heart beating through my chest. It was that bad. I don't even know if I could do the airplane. I mean, I might get on there and not have a problem. I always get the hands wrong. Always. The feet are too big. Darn it. I don't know if I'd want to actually be into the mountains themselves, like on the mountains themselves, but into some of the forests surrounding the mountains, most definitely. I'm trying to come up with stuff for to use as both merch, just little. Oh no, no, I wish. I would love to see like a Himalayan themed exhibits in a zoo here in the United States. I guess we sort of have some. But I think some of the European zoos have better. Now I've been through like the Rockies here in the United States. And I guess I've been through some of the Appalachian. As well as the Sierra Nevadas. I just don't do really well. Okay, next one will be tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Carol, it is an hour and 12 minutes. So unless somebody else comes in the next little bit, I'm going to call it. Anybody else on? Let's see. It says there's 3 people watching. Okay, y'all. Have a great evening. Check out the link for the live that we did on December 24th. And I will see you tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time for Exploring Nature Northern Cardinal. And with that, I will see you later. Goodbye.